Good morning, students. Welcome to Agricultural Education 3. I would like to welcome you to this course. I would like to say welcome to Agricultural Education 3. I wish you all to be hardworking, dedicated, and self-driven students in this course. This presentation covers the subject content in brief and some general guidelines that I want everyone to keep in mind when preparing for the August 2017 examination. To take you through the introduction, I will discuss some of the content of your study guide in order to help you prepare for the coming exam. By now, you should have a good idea what the subject is about, as you have completed an assignment. Please note that I cannot give attention to the whole content. So should you have any questions, please contact me for help. And my contact information is right there on the screen. As I said, my name is Abraham Sholongela. And then you can contact me on that mobile 08144383360. And then you can also contact me on my email address, which is asholongela@unam.na. To continue, the following presentation will also highlight some important aspects and units of this module. I urge you to use the study guide to prepare for examination. Just to start with you, I would like us to look at one of the most important subjects of this course, which is the mind maps. I want us to look at the examples of mind maps, the diagrams and flow charts that can be used in teaching topics in agricultural education. Just to give you a meaning of what mind map is, mind maps are pictorial representations of situations or tasks with the aim of turning this task into projects that involve all the senses. So it can be done on a large colored paper where you can just add even real objects, or you can add photos on the paper. These photos you might have cut them somewhere and just paste them on the paper, or you can also add some pictures or sketches or even some words of explanations and some verbal report. It is very important not just to have a picture on the mind map or just to have a drawing, but you need to give a verbal report or detailed information of what the picture or the mind map is representing. I have seen most of you during your assignments, you have just drawn the picture and then you have not elaborate or give more detailed information of what the mind map is all about. For example, if you look at this picture, this is a common picture that you might see in it in your assignments or in your study guide. For example, this mind map is about the farm. As you can see, there's a farm there, and then on the farm, it tells you that on the farm you may find chicken, then a farmer, or a horse, then ben, then hay, then also pigs. But not just about this. You also need to give more detailed information of what each node is representing on the farm. For example, you may indicate to us the chicken on the farm, why is it there for? The farmer on the farm, why is he there for? For example, the chicken, you can indicate that the chicken on the farm gives eggs or meat, or chicken also need good quality feed or protection from diseases and so on. And then also the horse, you can also indicate to us, for example, that the horse eats grass. It's a good animal for sport. It can also provide blood power and so on about the horse. Then you can also maybe say something about the farmer. You can say the farmer can look after the farm, or he can take care of the garden, he can till the ground, and so forth. We can do the same with all other notes on the mind maps. I would like also you to understand as a teacher the importance of mind maps in teaching agricultural education to learners. Why do we use mind maps? Mind maps is used to teach learners how to put individual part of things in a sequential order. Remember that the mind map also gives you a clear insight of what the topic is all about, or what the particular subject that you're explaining is all about. For examples, mind maps also, it can also help now learners to put things in a particular order. As we all know that some issues are difficult to define or even to explain, but with the use of mind maps, they can be easily accomplished, or you can easily use the mind maps in order to make them simple or easy to understand. This also helps learners to have a clear meaning of what the topic is all about. So this is all about mind maps. So you go also through your study guides and read more and understand about mind maps and how are the importance in teaching in agricultural education. And don't just write a mind map. Please, next time you have to give us more detailed information of what each note on that mind map is representing, or why is it there for. Let us also look at the different aspects of plant production, how to select suitable places for planting different plants. Selecting a suitable site for planting different ornamental plants is as important as selecting a place for any other crop. I'm sure that in your agricultural education too, we have also covered already, or we have also learned some factors that you need to consider when selecting or when a place, a site for planting vegetables. So those factors are just the same. For example, you need also you need to consider sunlight. You make sure that there is water in that site. You make also sure that there's also the soil chemical composition. You also consider that, and you also look at the factors also like inadequate security and also the accessibilities. Normally, nurseries are used a lot in raising plantation trees, flowers, and medicinal plants. All efforts should be made to select a site for raising a nursery near marketing centers if we have to trade in seedlings. The site should also have the following characteristics: be near a source of input materials, should be well saved with a reliable source of water inside the nursery, should be well protected by weed breaks, and should be also well shaded in order to protect the plants from the sun. This can be done in a greenhouse or plant shade. If it is expensive, then protection from wind and heat can be done with tall trees. Different aspects of plant production. There are also ways in which disease, as well as pests, damage gardens, plants, and the methods of controlling them. But I would like you to read more. As I say that I'm not going to cover the whole content of these modules, I'm urging you on this topic of pests and diseases on plants. So I want you to read more on methods for preventing and controlling viral diseases on page 72 of your study guide to page 74. And I want you, there is a table there in table 2.19 of your study guide. Look at that table and read more on the methods for preventing and controlling viral diseases. The different aspects of sheep or goats, farming and marketing. Under sheep and goats, I would like us to look at the common nutritional disorders or problems to watch out for in sheep and goats. The common disorder or nutritional disorder that mostly found in sheep and goat, or that a farmer should watch out for in sheep and goats, is bloat. Sometimes it's bloating. We say that bloating sometimes afflicts sheep or goats that are grazed on large growing regimes pasture. Bloat is a build-up of gases in the rumen, one part of the stomach, and can lead to death if not properly treated. Bloat is caused by rapid fermentation in the rumen and is most commonly associated with rapid consumption of large quantities of green legumes. Even sometimes also if the animal also feeds on large quantities of pellets. So bloating can also occur or afflict an animal. So an animal that is suffering from bloat can be treated by various means, but the best solution to this problem is to prevent the condition by carefully management of feeding and grazing practices. The best way to prevent bloat is to keep small ruminants from overeating on large regimes pastures. This can be accomplished by introducing the small ruminants gradually to such pastures, limiting the time they spend in the pasture, and feeding grain or dry roughage before turning them into the pasture. A second nutritional problem of sheep and goat is called grass stingers or grass tetany, which is a muscle spasms. So grass tetany is characterized by trembling and sometimes convulsions and then death of an animal. This condition most often occurs when small ruminants are turned into grass pasture and is caused by deficiency of magnesium in the forage. Grass tetany is most common where soils have low level of these nutrients. That means when the soil have a low level of magnesium or it lacks magnesium, and then also when the grass cannot take it up from the soil. Magnesium can be added to the feed, especially to that of lactating small ruminants. Rotating animals between regimes and grass pastures may also help prevent both bloat and grass tetany. So what I want you to understand on this scenario is I want you to identify or to understand the most common nutritional disorders, which is now the bloating and then the grass tetany that mostly affect sheep and goats, and also the solution to each of these problems. Let us also look at the fish production. So under fish productions, you have to identify 5 things that can destroy salmon eggs, very important. And these things that can destroy salmon eggs are, for example, the disturbance of gravel, such as by movements of adult salmons, animals crossing the stream, and so on. And also we have the predations. Predation, we have also other things or organisms that can feed on the salmon eggs. And then we have got also higher water temperature can also destroy the salmon eggs. And then also the freezings of water. Then the suffocation by being covered with silt. And also that means also when they suffocate and then the silt eliminates oxygens, and then the salmon eggs end up suffocating and being destroyed. Then we have also the pollutions of water, flooding that washes them into the downstreams, and also diseases also can lead to destruction of salmon eggs. I want you to go through your study guide and study more about these 5 things that can cause destruction on salmon eggs. How to organize a visit to the nearest dams, ponds, and aquariums to familiarize learners with natural environment of fish. I want you to take notes of the followings on this subject, because even during your assignments, most of you, it was a challenge. Most of you were totally out of topic on how to organize a visit or a trip to maybe a nearest pond. It can be even to a nearest farm. where you want to take learners in order for the learners to familiarize themselves with the natural environment or with the subject. But most of you were just out of topic. For this, how to organize yourself for a visit, the following must be done. You have to take notes of the following. So I want you to provide information of before the trip, what must be done. So you have to put those things down. What must be done before visiting the site or before the trip. And then also during the trip, what must be done during the trip, what is expected during the trip, both from learners also and the farmer where you are going to visit, the site where you are going to visit. And also what must be done after the trip. So these are the most important things that you must take into considerations when addressing this issue or when you are organizing a visit to the nearest dams or a farm. So take these things in consideration. What must be done before the trip, during the trip, and also after the trip. So read more about this subject in your study guide from page 161 and 162 of your study guide and have a clear picture of this subject. I will also want to take you through now on how to prepare for your exam. So how to prepare for your exam, I'm just going to give you some tips, very few tips on how to prepare for your examination. So ensure that you have all the study materials or resources required for this module. I'm sure you also have the most important thing that I always say, make sure that you have your study guide. If you don't have one, please make sure that you consult me. Please ensure that you spend enough time reading the prescribed materials and to follow the instructions carefully so as to ensure that you do not waste unnecessary time and effort. Take time to first acquaint yourself with the content of the modules by reading through the materials carefully. Make sure you understand the verb used very well. For example, the verb like define or clarify or discuss or describe, etc. These type of verbs may be used in questions, maybe during your examination or during the assignments. So it's very important for you to understand the meaning of these verbs so that you can address the questions properly. Always pay attention to the marks allocated to each question and answer accordingly. That's the most important thing that you need to consider or to take note of. Before you answer the question, look at the mark that is being allocated into the brackets. For example, if the question says or indicate 20 marks, you are expected to explain more in details or to give more details of that questions. So instead of giving 2 or 3 sentences for 20 marks, please, you have to also to weigh the mark that is given. Never leave any questions unanswered or just leaving a question blank. It happened a lot of time. Most of you have already done it during the assignment. I don't know what was happening. I don't know what was wrong. Maybe you didn't have enough resources to find adequate information. But I have come across a situation whereby some of you have left a question just blank, just like that. But I urge you for your exam, do not leave any question unanswered or blank. Make sure that at least you read the question and understand the question or answer according to how you understand the questions. Sometimes it's not necessary just to memorize what you have or learned in your study guide, but please read and answer the question according to how you understand, so that at least you have something whereby your tutor or the examiner have to look at, so that in case you are not going to get a 0 on that particular question. Revise your assignment and ask your tutor if you have any problem. So I am your tutor, and as you are going through your study guide, please, you feel free to contact me. I have given you my mobile number, which is 081-4438-360, and I have also given you already my email address, which is asholongela@unam.na. So in case you do not understand, feel free to contact me. Please enjoy these modules and good luck with the assessments through assignments and examination. That is part and parcel of your studies. Remember that perseverance is the hard work you do after you get tired of doing the hard work you already did. So we have come to an end of our course today, or of our class. As I have said already, if you have got any problem, feel free to contact me, and I would like to say all the best for your upcoming examination.